Hello there! Have you ever heard of the term the perfect storm? Okay, well if you have, then watch the following video, like or subscribe, and peace. Hello there, my name is Bill Juliana. I'm 49 years old and I have a 40-year history of dealing with anorexia nervosa, and I'm currently following the recovery methods espoused by Tabitha Farrar, Kayla Rose Katecki, and Elisa Orris. And today I just wanted to provide a quick life update, as if you really need one, as if you really need a life update from someone else out there who's really stressed. But that's basically where I am, is just really stressed. And so the upload schedule for my YouTube channel is going to be a little bit more erratic in the coming days. It already has been erratic. It's been thrown off schedule as of this past week because we had a nice major storm that passed through the city. Yes, indeed, on March 3rd, we had tornadoes that came through Nashville. And those didn't directly impact my neighborhood, although they directly impacted my area, where I was living and the way I was feeling then. But then on May 3rd, out of nowhere, this giant storm came through, and it wasn't a tornado, but it was like tornado force gales that went blowing through. And this time they did hit my neighborhood. Now, it didn't damage our house, but it did cause the power to go out for a number of days. And so I wasn't able to film, I wasn't able to upload or anything like that. And as a result, though, of being without power and seeing our refrigerator defrost in front of our eyes and flood the floor, and, you know, trying to keep everything from flooding and the floor from warping and other things that went on in the house that we didn't manage that well during the power outage, that we're now having to try to clean up. I've had a bit of an emotional stress that is added on to the emotional stress that I was already feeling. And I don't want to call it a breakdown or anything like that, because I'm holding my own, I'm hanging in there. But I did all of a sudden feel like, okay, my brain has lost all sense of creativity at this point because I'm in survival mode. And I've got to get on track with my recovery because I got a little bit off track there. There are a couple of weeks here where I've gotten off track with my recovery because I've been emotionally strained. And I've let that get in the way of my recovery. Now, I keep coming on camera day in, day out, or week in, week out, saying my number one priority is anorexia recovery through this pandemic. Saying that over and over, and that remains true, although I let it slip out of my own grasp, like I said, for a couple of weeks. There was one week where I was really stressed about finances, and I still am. And I'm not the only one out there. There are plenty of people who are overwhelmed by financial issues at this point in their lives. And I'm having that as well. And so I was looking into the future going, I don't know about this. And I've looked into the future a lot and gone, I don't know about this. But as a result of that, I was really focusing on that and really worrying and stressed and everything. And I realized that my life was becoming much more rigid. The timing of everything had to be just so. And I had to complete tasks on this day, do the grocery shopping at this place on this day, and then go to another place on this day, and then bring it home, clean it, make sure everything is right, make sure the house is clean, make sure the laundry is done, and time it all perfectly. And my food had to be the same way. So it was getting much more rigid, and the whole idea of unrestricted eating was kind of going out the window. And I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing? So when our power went out and when the storm came through, I was like, this is it. You know, I started eating as much as I could of the food that was going bad in our refrigerator. But even so, I was so stressed out and scared that it stopped me from really unrestrictedly eating. And of course, all the things that I usually do with entertainment and things like that, they were gone. And so it was just one of those things where it was kind of like there was no recourse for salving my emotional stress state. So I don't want to sit here and whine and complain. That's not what this video is about, although that's what it's become. And so I apologize about that. What I really want to say is that going forward, I am going to be uploading to YouTube, but I've got to get myself straight. You know, I've gotten a little bit off course. I've had some emotional fragility that has kind of gotten my emotions frayed a little bit here. And so I need to get myself to where I'm eating unrestrictedly again before I can come back on camera and talk about eating unrestrictedly, because that is the way out of anorexia nervosa. It is the way out, is eating unrestrictedly and resting for a prolonged period. And that's another thing that I found that I wasn't allowing myself to do that much, and that was resting. My days, even though we're quarantined at home, my days have been exhausting. And I know you have probably faced the same thing, because we're trying to make sure that we keep ourselves occupied and active and all this stuff, and we don't want to slide into this, you know, kind of slothful state and all this stuff. Even though this method of recovery requires prolonged rest, this is the perfect opportunity to take that. But I know a lot of us who are older, who have responsibilities, have been trying to make sure that we keep ourselves active. And I'm not necessarily meaning running or going out exercising. I mean just trying to keep our households running and that kind of stuff. So I used running twice. I meant jogging running and then keep our households running. But anyway, I should just probably turn the camera off at this point and go ahead and eat unrestrictedly and rest, because that's really what I need. And I just wanted to pop on camera just to let you know that, hey, we've had this situation last week. I wasn't able to upload. And so I'm going to be changing up my schedule a little bit just to allow myself the freedom to eat unrestrictedly and rest and really do this method of recovery, because the last couple of weeks have gotten a little bit off kilter and I've gotten a little derailed. And I need to work on this, both on myself, with my therapist and everything else. But I also encourage everyone else who may be going through the same thing, maybe just take a step back and go, hello, take some breaths and be like, okay, I need to focus on myself, recalibrate, and get anorexia recovery as my number one priority yet again. And I know I've talked about that being my number one priority throughout this whole pandemic thing, but in the last couple of weeks, I've seen that priority slip. And I've seen how it works for me. So if any of you are facing the same thing, then I encourage you to, like I said, recalibrate and get back on the anorexia recovery train. Because if there's a future with me in it, then I don't want to have the eating disorder attached. And of course, I am very worried about the future. We all are. But I can't do anything about it right now. So I can only eat unrestrictedly, stay present, and rest. So that's what I'm going to go do. And so as a result of saying all that, this has been such a tangential video, so unwell said, and a lot of stumbling in my words and all of that. So forgive me for that. But I just wanted to pop on camera, like I said, and just say that my upload schedule is going to be a little bit different. But it's not like I'm not going to be on YouTube. I'm definitely going to be on YouTube. It's just going to be a little bit different in the going on forward in the future. So with that, I'm just going to say, please, everyone, eat unrestrictedly, rest for a prolonged period. Don't slip into rigidity like I did. Oh my goodness, it's so easy to do. Don't let that happen. If you do let it happen, then please get back on the recovery train and take care of yourselves. We're still going through it. It's still so tough. And until next time, peace.